Yo, peace, peace, peace. Hey man, I wanted to talk about something real quick. I wanted to talk about this individual that goes by the name of Lil Boosie and his issue with Brian Glaze Gibbs, right? And I saw another podcast that he did maybe about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks. I forget how many weeks it was. But they was talking about the Bimmy situation and how Bimmy, it's been rumors going around that Bimmy was basically dry snitching on people behind closed doors. And it was a lot of paperwork, I guess a lot, but it was things that was in, I guess, an affidavit or something like that. Whereas, things were said and Bimmy, his name was put in it. Now, Bimmy admitted to signing an affidavit, and he admitted to that because he didn't want to basically implicate his name, or he didn't want to be associated with some type of murder that went on. This is some old stuff. It's like 35 years ago. And I think the reason why my man Zip with the drip had brought it out is because you got an individual by the name of 10 Toes Down. He was going around spreading so-called lies on Zip with the drip. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of this stuff just been blown out of proportion. I see where Brian Glaze Gibbs is coming from. One thing I can respect about Brian Gibbs is that he's honest in a lot of things that he has done. And to be honest, I think that this brother has really tried to change his life from what he used to be to what he is today. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to navigate these young kids not to make a lot of the stupid mistakes that he made as a young man up into an adult. And you have these guys like Lil Boosie and all of them, they can't get over the fact that this man made a mistake. He told on people this, that, and the third. And that's really what's wrong with the black community. This is why we can't come together, is because you got rats talking about rats. And see, you notice what I just said, rats. Boosie, Bimmy, all these guys that's in jail, quote unquote, all these guys that's in jail, quote unquote, for 30 years to life and things of this nature, that's fooling the community and thinking that they're some type of soldiers for the community. They're nothing but confidential informants. Why do I say that? It's because the so-called black man does not get his drugs. We don't control the drug market. Where are we getting these drugs from? We're getting these drugs from the Caucasian and other nations. And we make excuses about we're poor. We don't have things and things of this nature to give us the excuse to come outside and deal poison in our communities. So Lil Boosie is fed up with Brian Glaze Gibbs, and he made the statement that Brian Glaze Gibbs, he's not for the kids. Well, if he's not for the kids, then what makes you think you for the kids? It's because just because you didn't tell on nobody don't mean that you're not a rat. Because let's get the true definition of a rat of today. A rat in its natural state is really a vegetarian, I believe. But you take a rat out of its natural element, it's going to eat anything, right? And a rat that's outside of his element, he's liable to do anything. And this is what the black community is. See, we didn't grow up as drug dealers. We wasn't born as drug dealers. We wasn't born as people that's killing people in the neighborhood. This is a mentality that was imposed on us by the so-called white man and the system. And we participated. We willfully participated, whether we knowingly did it or unknowingly. So these guys that get on social media and they try to down each other for what they done did 30 and 40 years ago, we need to fucking stop this shit. Is because it's really getting in the way of real progress. It's because just because Boosie, Bimmy, Supreme McGriff didn't tell on nobody, don't excuse them for being confidential informants. Who are they working for? They're working for the fucking white man. That's who they working for. They're working for the Cubans. They're working for these different nations that bring these drugs to our community and poison our communities on purpose. For money, greed, and wealth, see, and prestige. And these Negroes participated in it. And it's just sad on how these guys can get out of jail, do this time that they're doing, and get on social media, and they're not being pressed by the community. They should not be on it. They should not be on television talking about these things if it's not for the upliftment of the community. Boosie, you're a rat. Bimmy, Brian Glaze Gibbs, y'all are rats. It's because you were not helping kids either when you was poisoning their parents with drugs. See, we got to get down to the bottom of it. And I'm not talking as if I'm a perfect person. I done did things in my past that I'm not proud of. But a true man is going to look himself in the mirror and he's going to address the issues that he has. And one of the issues that we having in our community is that we don't want to take accountability for what we doing. Why is Boosie on a nice podcast? Why is he still defending some shit happened 30 years ago? It's because deep down these guys still glorify the drug life. They just can't get involved in it. Is because why? A lot of these guys got 3 strikes and they know that if they go to jail again, they never getting out of prison. And I'm not saying that he been to prison. I don't know where he been at. But what I'm saying, when I look at 050 The Movement, when I look at a lot of these different podcasts, these niggas is still glorifying gang activity and nigga foolery in the fucking community. And see, it's going to have to take the community to stop these niggas from doing this. I don't know what Bemmy's doing behind closed doors, and quite frankly, I don't give a shit. But it just saddens me that you got all these great minds on television having a post of these young kids, and you're teaching them to keep going back and forth. We can't forgive each other. See? He ratted on me 30 years ago, so we can't do nothing together. But here it is, we give our money, we give our sweat, we give our ideas to the Caucasian every day that done did what? He done destroyed us 10 times over. See? He done destroyed us. These same niggas that talk about they can't forgive each other, they voting for Joe Biden. They voting for Donald Trump. See? This is what they doing. You know, I'm not going to be really long on this one here, but I'm just showing the hypocrisy in these Negroes. These niggas is nothing but a bunch of hypocrites, and all they do is sit around here, they act like fucking women, arguing back and forth over some bullshit that happened 50 and 1,000 years ago. What is the agenda today for the so-called black man? The so-called black man should be doing what? He should be trying to control his community from a righteous standpoint of view. We're not even doing that. We got 10 toes down on 050 the movement, talking about how he's going to show pictures of Harlem Legend's family. See? But Harlem Legend is no good either. It's because, see, he caused a lot of confusion and chaos on the YouTube streets. To me, the one that you call a rat, Brian Glaze Gibbs, is probably the only brother. And I would just say, just talk real talk, but really Brian Glaze, he's the only one that's trying to make sense of a lot of this stupid shit that's going on out here. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, we have to pay attention to who we listening to on these podcasts. People like Boosie, what is his name? The guy always taking people honor. King Ernest. These are fools, man. See? They fools. They're not the ones for the kids. It's because if you're not going to get on television and say that you was wrong for what you did to the black community, then what the fuck is you on TV for? Why is we still talking about Bemmy? Who cares if he told on somebody 50 years ago? Look at what the brother is doing now. The brother is in music. I'm not a big supporter of the way that the music is going today, but we still listen to it. Who cares? But what Brian Glaze Gibbs is saying is that y'all niggas been calling me a rat all this time, but all this paperwork and this stuff that's going on with y'all behind the scenes, y'all hands is not clean either. And look, your hands never was clean. You been dirty from the beginning. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, peace, and pay attention to these individuals that's in your community that's still talking about unproductive bullshit. Shalom.